2 years older than myself. I was born in 18, this is 3 years older than myself. Now, this book actually changed my life.
Ahmad Deedat now had his armor. His shield would be his extensive knowledge of the Bible and Quran, and his sword would be his frank, piercing style of delivery. In 1940, he took to the stage and began giving lectures to small audiences, the first of which was Muhammad, the Messenger of Peace.
I made appointments with them to go to their homes on Sundays, after church, their church, and talking to them, and I talked myself into talking until I came to Durban, reside in Durban. I found a job in Durban. And in Durban, around the 50s, an opening took place. This is also Allah's Musabbibul Asbab. We had a very charismatic speaker coming from overseas. And this speaker, very unusual, for a Sunday morning, he used to get 300 people every Sunday morning. And the crowd was increasing continuously. And I used to attend this talk of his, very fascinating. At the end of the talk, question and answers, and when everything was over, after a few months, a revert to Islam, an Englishman who had become Muslim, by the name of Mr. Fairfax. This Mr. Fairfax, he suggested this, look, any of you, if you are interested, I am prepared to teach you people comparative religion. But he called it Bible class. He said, I will teach you the Bible, how to use the Bible in propagating Islam. So he said, very good. So out of this 200 to 300 audience every Sunday morning that this other gentleman drew, about 15 to 20 opted to remain for a second injection. And this Mr. Fairfax began teaching us that, look, in the book of Daniel, there are certain prophecies and how to use those prophecies. In the book of Deuteronomy, in the Bible, there are certain prophecies regarding the coming of our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and how we can exploit them, how we can expound them. So this thing carried on for a few weeks or a couple of months, and then Mr. Fairfax was absent. And I could see the disappointment on the faces of these young people. We were all young then, 15 to 20 of us. We're looking at each other's faces, disappointed, and we break up. The following Sunday again, we look at each other's faces. Where is Mr. Fairfax? No news. And we break up. The third Sunday, I suggested to them, to those people who were enthusiastic about having a second inning. I said, look, if you like, I can carry on where Mr. Fairfax left off, because I had the knowledge that I was sitting in to give this person my moral support. Myself and my secretary, who has just passed away, Mr. G.H. Vanker. Now, we were both knowledgeable as far as the Bible was concerned, but we would give them our moral support, which will sit there and with the rest. Now I said, look, if you like, I will carry on from where Mr. Fairfax left off, and if you get bored, tired, fed up, just yawn, and there will be notice enough for me to stop. And for 3 years, I continued talking to them, and I discovered now that that was my best way of learning, because there is no better way to learn than to teach. As our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, "Ballighu anni walau ayah." Deliver the message regarding me, even if it is one verse. That's a secret. If you have one verse, and if you share, and you share, and you share, then Allah fills you up with more. I didn't know that then, but I can now realize what was happening. Teaching them. Then I had some visitors to come along. There were some visitors coming from Johannesburg, and they stayed in for my class. And they felt that they can exploit my talents, so they said, look, we are having a birthday celebration of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the City Hall of Johannesburg, and we would like you to come and speak to us. So I said, I'm a working class man, I can't afford these trips, but if you give me an air ticket, I will come. So they gave me an return air ticket, and for the first time in my life, I traveled by air to reach Johannesburg and deliver the lecture. Now that gave me an idea. But if I can lecture in the City Hall of Johannesburg, what is wrong with the City Hall of Durban? So we organized a lecture here in the City Hall of Durban. And it was in 1958, December 1958. As a result of that, two Caucasians, white people, Europeans, they started visiting our offices in Madrasa Arcade. And subsequently, twice, a certain type of conversion took place that we converted to those two white gentlemen who were coming from our office. We converted